Yo, what is going on YouTube? What is going on Raider Nation specifically? This is WiFiWillie, and we got the NFL Nightly News is what we're doing here. We're going to go ahead and talk about everything that's going on in the NFL, and we're also going to talk about what you guys are thinking, because that's what I care about too. I want to know what the rest of the nation is feeling, what the rest of other NFLs are feeling. I actually am one of the few people who are fortunate enough to have several people from different teams come across the channel. I've had Jets fans, Charger fans. Obviously, I have Raider fans because I primarily promote their content. But honestly, it's been surprising, and I really appreciate the support and everything that you guys have been holding down for us over here at WiFiWillie. And trust me, we're going to have more stuff coming soon. I'm excited about it, and I hope you guys are too. What we're going to talk about today, just to briefly detail everything for you guys, we're going to first go over what is going on with the Ruggs situation. I know some people want to move on from that, but we can't help but move on from that at this moment, just because like Mark Davis said, once a Raider, always a Raider. This guy is somebody who we're still gonna have to keep an eye on, man. He's part of the legacy of the Raiders. He's a first-round pick in a crucial moment, one of the picks for Khalil Mack, obviously. And then we're also going to talk about some receivers who the Raiders have worked out today. They worked out several people. I know we're all hoping for OBJ, right? And we're going to talk about that too. What's going on with OBJ? Does he have a shot to join the Raiders, or does it look like, okay, this guy, he's probably going to go to a contender. He says he wants to go to a contender. What does that actually mean? What does that actually entail? We're going to try to figure that out. We're going to try to figure that out as much as we can. And appreciate everybody out here in the chat. First off, I want to say what up to EC Everett, man. The wheel route to Drake is open. James Moore, Luis Huante, Luis Calderon. How you doing, man? Jesse Rodas, BL, My 2 cents. A lot of great people here. So I'm looking forward to what you guys have to say. I have this chat happening behind me. And I also have emojis. I believe this should work. If you guys do have some emojis that you want to share, they should be able to pop up and over here for us in this chat here. So try to give us some crap. Actually, yeah. Sorry about that. But send some emojis. I want to see if this actually works, if this is all hype or whatnot. There is some tool we're supposed to utilize where we're able to have emojis pop up on the screen, and if it doesn't work, whatever, we'll live, we'll learn, we'll figure it out, and we'll keep testing it. We'll keep testing it as we go along. But the reason why I also have things I want to talk about. I want to talk about the Chiefs and Raiders game. That's going to be huge in my opinion. I want to talk about in particular what the Chiefs have done. The Chiefs have added some talent. I mean, I don't know if you guys know, but they do have some talent that they didn't used to have on that side of the ball. So we'll talk about that, of course. And we'll also talk about some interesting news happening with the Browns. The Browns, despite what we want to believe, they did pretty well. They did pretty well this past week without OBJ. So, I mean, maybe you don't get OBJ. I don't know. But OBJ has his preferred destinations, Packers. We have Patriots coming on too. And first off, like I said, though, we are going to talk about what's happening with the Raiders. I just wanted to make sure I gave you guys a survey of most of the things we're talking about. And honestly, you guys do control the show. I mean, if you guys want to talk about something in particular, if somebody has an interesting comment, I am definitely about to break that down, right? I am totally on board with that. So Baker was slinging it. Shout out to EC Everett. Joshua Gondo, we need a number one wide receiver. Yes, we do. Because we lost our number one wide receiver, unfortunately. Okay? We lost our number one wide receiver. The Raiders, unfortunately, do not have Henry Ruggs anymore. That's just an aspect of life that's happening for us here. It's hard to move. It's hard to move on from that, right? It's tough, but it is what it is. At the end of the day, we can't really do anything to control it. And Henry Ruggs, he's back in court for his DUI case. So he will be back in court tomorrow. Wednesday morning, we'll be able to find out what's going to happen to this guy. So when we look at the information here, unfortunately, former wide receiver Henry Ruggs is scheduled to return to court, and this is reported by the Las Vegas Review-Journal. Wednesday morning in Las Vegas in connection with the fire crash that left a woman dead, prosecutors are expected to formally charge Henry Ruggs, at age 22, at the hearing with at least 4 felonies and misdemeanors, could face up to 40 years. I know we don't want to talk about this negative stuff, but we got to get this stuff out of the way because it is nightly news, NFL nightly news, emphasizing the Raiders, and we got to talk about this stuff. So that's happening tomorrow, unfortunately. And Ruggs faces up to 40 years behind bars if convicted of the DUI counts. There's also the gun charge on top of that. Mike Castle, what's up, bro? Came in late. Sup, Willie in the chat. Appreciate you guys, man. Appreciate you guys. He has been out of custody, under house arrest in his $1.1 million home in Vegas, several miles from the Las Vegas Strip, since posting bail Wednesday. Under the conditions of his release, court records show he is prohibited from driving and consuming alcohol and is required to be tested for alcohol at least 4 times a day. Tested for alcohol at least 4 times a day. Damn, that's rough. I mean, having a drug test every day, some people have to have a COVID test every day to go to work. At least they did during the height of the pandemic. That's hard enough. That's hard enough, in my opinion. And now you're going to get tested for alcohol? And how do you get tested for alcohol? Does someone just smell your breath? Are they like doing blood or urine sample, breathalyzer? Maybe it's a breathalyzer. He's getting a breathalyzer 4 times a day. So, damn, you know, people have their opinions about it, but whatever your opinion is about this guy, he's going through some crap right now. So that's for sure. I just want to keep you guys up to date. So going to court tomorrow morning. Be on the lookout around 9 a.m. for some news. Obviously, this channel will be breaking down the first thing that's happening for everything. We'll be giving you guys the most important news right away. So be on the lookout for that. And the Raiders are not done at wide receiver just because we got Desean Jackson, which, by the way, I am stoked we have Desean Jackson. We do have some information and stuff we're going to talk about. We're also going to talk about that game last night, Bears versus Steelers, that I thought was just rigged as hell. I mean, I don't know what you guys think, but I thought people were getting screwed over left and right, mainly the Bears in that game. So we'll definitely talk about that. But the Raiders are working on some cool receivers, man, and I think one of these guys can really make a splash. We have Jalen Strong. He's the big name coming out, played at Arizona State, and you do know he has a 4.4-yard, 40-yard dash. He was projected as a late first-round pick, despite the fact that he ended up going in the 3rd round, drafted by the Houston Texans. Texans traded him to the Jets, giving away their own 3rd-round pick and a 5th-round pick to trade him to the Jets. And, you know, he's just kind of been, you know, floating around the NFL since 2018. He was signed by the Browns. In 2019, waived by them. Didn't play in 2020. But he's still a pretty young guy for all intents and purposes, 27 years old. So maybe Jalen Strong could contribute for the Raiders. Let me know what you guys think. You guys like the idea of Jalen Strong trying to join the 53-man roster? I don't know. I think it could be cool. I think we got to give Dylan Stoner a shot. I don't know what you guys think. What about Stoner? But we do need some help. Luis Huantes, salute to you, man. A lot of people are praising you in the chat. Wait, I thought alcohol was legal. Yeah, I mean, there is some. I mean, that is a point to be made. I'm not gonna totally disagree with that, and just ignore that point. Here we go, though. More stories coming up. Mainly that game yesterday. I think we should talk about that game yesterday. It was a pretty jacked up game. Some of you guys are even already hinting at it, like, wow, rigged. It just felt like before the game, you know, there was people who decided who should win the game, and unfortunately, it just couldn't happen. It was like they just were not going to allow it to happen, right? Let's see if we can pop up. We'll pop up this web page for you guys in just a second. We have some tweets regarding the game because it was with Cassius Marsh, and here's what he was quoted saying. I'm trying to get that for you, but unfortunately, it's not popping up at this moment. But some of you guys saw that Cassius marked the penalty, but I want to talk about even before Cassius Marsh in the penalty with the unsportsmanlike conduct, because there was other stuff going on before then. There definitely was. So you have here Kevin Fishbane talking about the situation, and I believe they have video. We do have a alert popping up. Shout out to those of you supporting the channel. Unfortunately, I was not able to see the alert. I will be checking the chat right now to verify what that alert was. I believe it was a subscriber alert, though. So shout out to those who did go out there and subscribe to this channel. When you do subscribe to this channel, Derek Carr does pop up on the screen, and it's obviously some fun times. So, Cassius Fishbane. Or Cassius Marsh, reported by Kevin Fishbane. I think that was one just bad timing. It's pretty clear to everybody who saw it that I wasn't taunting. I've been doing the celebration my whole career. It's just sad to see stuff like this happen in a close game like that. And then he notes that the referee, Tony Corrente, who Steve Smith said was screwing him over, or not Steve Smith, Chris Sims said today on Pro Football Talk that this referee, Tony Corrente, has screwed him over in various games. He said what he did is he totally did not let him know when the timer was starting for the play, forcing him to get delay games just because he yelled at him at it. And he even told Chris Sims during the game, are you going to have like a better attitude with me, right? So he even said stuff like that. Pretty wrong, you know what I mean? You're undermining somebody else. It's personal, and it just gives people a reason to think, wow, why gamble on this? This is a messed up game. This is such a messed up game, man. Really. Shout out to you, PHX Lights. Appreciate you, man. But let's go ahead and see if we can see this thing. Here's the check. So you see, boom, the referee goes out of his way. It's not too big of a deal. Obviously, it looks small right here, so you can't see it too well. But referee goes and tries to check him with his hips, trying to maybe draw a penalty or something. And it's just messed up, man. And even before then, there was a hit to the back of Justin Fields' neck that was not called. When they were in the red zone, they had to settle for a field goal. There was the weird-ass chop block penalty on the offensive lineman for the Bears. That was a ripoff. So that happened. Didn't call roughing the passer on Justin Fields when they hit him to the back of the head, and when he slid and gave himself up. It was so messed up. And then on top of that, there was one more thing that I'm drawing a blank on right now. But I remember there was 3 times, and I was talking to my girlfriend, and she was even frustrated during this. We were just like, wow, the Bears literally got messed over 3 times on one drive in the red zone, on 3 series of plays in the red zone. And I was like, if that was the Raiders, I would have flipped. I would have flipped so hard if that was the Raiders. So I thought it wasn't right, man. And they gotta get this thing right, or else people aren't going to want to care about the NFL as much anymore. They're really not. Parker's the weak link in the O-line. You think Illuminor is better? We'll see about that. I think Parker's been developing for some time. And this Bears versus Steelers game was getting so bad yesterday. You even had Nick Wright coming in and saying, how can these refs call a 15-yard penalty on Chicago on a missed block that takes away a touchdown and then not call anything on those 2 hits on Fields? This is just egregious officiating. Exactly what I was saying. Terrible in the series. For the first time in my life, I agree with dumbass Nick Wright. For the first time, I guess I'm going to agree with Nick Wright. Oh, shit. Louis Wante, hey, Willie, my daughter is swearing in as a Marine at the Jags versus Falcons game coming up later this month here in Jacksonville. She wants to secretly wear her Max Raider shirt. So proud of her. I'm proud of her to shout out to Luis Wante's daughter. Wear that Raider shirt. Go ahead, bust out a hat. You know, in a key moment when they don't recognize it. Screw Jacksonville. Screw the Falcons. They're not going to the playoffs anyways. Oh, Oh, shout out to Joe Glisson. I see him here, man. How you doing, bro? So, another thing that's going on, bro. So we are in a tough race in the AFC. The Raiders have a hard time now, especially the Giants loss. That was really just a game they should have won. That could have put them so much more far ahead. Now, we got to start thinking about wild card because the Chiefs are at 5-4, the Broncos are at 5-4, the Chargers are at 5-3, number one in the division, and we're at 5-3. So it's pretty split. We got to get real. We got to think about wild card. So the reason I bring that up to you is because the Browns, man, Nick Chubb tested positive for COVID along with Demetric Felton. Nick Chubb, though, was having a monster game this past week. This whole season, Nick Chubb has been amazing. He's vaccinated and still tested positive for COVID. Don't shut me down, YouTube. I'm not going to say anything about that. But hey, this is what's going down, right? So both players are vaccinated. Us. Their status for Sunday night's game against New England remains in question. Each player would need 2 negative tests in 24 hours to play. I don't think they're going to play. You know, I mean, it would be tough if they do get 2 negative tests. We'll see. Either way, and I think it's probably yes, Nick Chubb is not available to play this Sunday against the Patriots. That will undermine the Browns for sure. And the Browns are in a tough as hell division. AFC North, you got the Steelers, you got the Browns, you got the Ravens, and then you got the Bengals. Tough as hell. I mean, they're going to be struggling to get a wild card spot. Compared to us, we have a much easier schedule all around. Shout out to Luis Calderon. He's got a son named Junie. Junie, shout out to you, man. Shout out to you. Man, that's going to be tough. By the way, I am not an anti-vaxxer. I am actually vaccinated. I am just saying, wow, that does suck that you are vaccinated and can still come up positive. All right. Coming on, looking at some of the other stories we have today. Odell Beckham. Where is Odell Beckham gonna go? We are not sure. We don't know. I mean, it doesn't seem like originally the Saints and the Raiders were interested in OBJ trying to get the trade from the Browns prior to him being released. Then afterwards, we start hearing, okay, we now have boy, George Strait. Hell yeah. Super chatted us, supporting the channel. Appreciate you, bro. Boy, George Strait. Saying thanks. Showing some love. That's all you really need, man. You just need some love. You need some support. Boy, George Strait. Always rolling through. Always having good things to say. Appreciate you, my dude, for supporting the channel. But my main point is that OBJ, I don't know if he really wants to go to the Raiders. Does he really want to go to the Raiders? No, it just seems like they were in talks for trades prior to him getting released. Now that he's released, here's what happens. Now that he's released, you're in a situation where since he cleared waivers, if he would have been picked up by somebody on the waivers, he would have cost them roughly $8 million. But now that he cleared waivers, he could sign for a veteran minimum, just like Desean Jackson signed with the Raiders, a veteran minimum of $1 million. And now, since OBJ cleared waivers, he's in a situation where he can get paid just the $1 million veteran minimum. Meanwhile, the Browns have to freaking pay him $4 million while he sits on another team for the veteran $1 million. Boy, George Strait, Ripple Groove. If you like funk, check it out. Then maybe I could add Ripple Groove in for the super chat sound instead for the next stream. I think I'll do that, Boy George Strait. So shout out to you. Shout out to you, man. Appreciate the love, man. Really do. Without it, man, this channel would die down. Without your guys' support, super chats, becoming members and everything, we'd be totally done over here. So Ripple Groove, if you like funk, check it out. I think that's going to be the sound for the super chat next week. I think we're going to do that for sure. So Desean Jackson, I think he is still filing a grievance over his termination pay. I do think if that noise does sound a little loud in the headphones, I will fix that right now. By the way. So basically, this opens the door for him to sign with somebody like the Chiefs, like the Bucks, like the Packers, because people are saying, how could the Packers afford OBJ? Well, because he cleared waivers. So basically, the Browns would pay him $4 million, while the Packers pay him $1 million. I do think he could go to the Packers. I really do. I think that's they have been reporting that's where he wants to go. Scholl's report's been reporting that. And here's the thing: if Evan Massey of Fox, this guy's part of Fox Sports, Schultz reports too. If these two people are wrong about this, about Packers and Patriots, we're not going to trust these guys anymore at all. We're not going to listen to them. So basically, screw this, right? Screw this if he's wrong. This guy better hope he's right, or else we're not going to give a shit about what this guy has to say anymore. We shouldn't give him crap. We shouldn't give a crap what this guy has to say. So that's the gist of it. I hope no Chiefs. The Chiefs need another weapon outside Tyreek Hill and Kelsey. That's true. So he could go there. It's not going to be everything we hope it is. You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying. It's good. It's tough. You know, we might get the short end of the stick in this situation. But, I'm just trying to give it to you guys straight about the OBJ thing. I think people will get a lot of clicks off it saying that they're going to go to the Raiders, but by what the consensus is saying, it's not supposed to happen. It's not supposed to happen, and I think the fact that he cleared waivers means that he can just go to a Super Bowl contender like the Chiefs and Bucks. And here's the thing. I think OBJ is too scared to go to the Raiders. I think OBJ is too scared to go to the Raiders, not because the Raiders are a bad team. No. That's not it. I think OBJ doesn't want to go to the Raiders because if he does not perform well, it will stand out big. If OBJ go, because here's the thing. These other teams like the Bucks, like the Packers, like the Chiefs, like the Patriots, OBJ, they have other weapons. They have other weapons at wide receiver. Maybe not the Patriots so much, but still, they have some pass catching, some pass catching running backs, some really good tight ends too. But the Raiders are a team where it's like, if OBJ goes there, if he's bad, it will stand out. If he's great, it will stand out. Because the spot is open for a number one wide receiver. It's just a huge spot. Packers, Chiefs, Bucks, no, they got plenty of weapons. Same thing with the Rams. So it's just this huge spot open. And I think he is afraid, maybe, even though I think it's a better opportunity. The Raiders are the best opportunity for OBJ because he'll get the most targets, more snaps than most of these other contenders, right? And he has a really good quarterback there who will give him jump balls, who's not afraid to do that. So I think he maybe doesn't want to risk being put in that situation with the Raiders, not performing that well, maybe not getting his routes right, making some drops. Who knows? If he struggles at all, the Raiders won't hesitate to point the finger at him. And maybe he doesn't want that. He's afraid of that. It might hurt him getting a contract in the offseason. The flip side, though, is if he does really well, boom, he'll get a mega contract next season, similar to what happened to Aguilar. Exactly what Aguilar did. So I would just say, okay, maybe that's why he doesn't want to go. And if that's the case, then we don't really need this guy. Then we don't really need this guy, and it's up to him whether or not he wants to be here. And if he doesn't want to have that kind of challenge, then whatever, man, whatever. We'll move on there. We need some more shout-outs, though, man. People are freaking getting their kids starting young into into Raider Nation. So Joshua Gonda named his son Raider. He's 3 watching the show. Hell yeah, bro. Yelling Raiders. Shout out to you, Raider. Love your name, bro. Hope you kick ass in school this week. Awesome, man. Stoked to see the youngins, man. Exactly. Start them young. And the thing is, we do have Desean Jackson now, so you do wonder, do we really need OBJ? We just need the speedster, man. Arlen Howard stepping into the building. Raiders, hell yeah, bro. Good to see you. I like that name, Howlin'. You know, Howlin', it sounds like an amusement park you can go to. You know what I mean? I like it. I like it. Either way, pump the brakes on the OBJ thing. That's what I'm saying. That's the gist of what I'm saying here. If we could summarize my point. And here's another thing, and I think I actually missed out on this slide, which is about our opponent that we have this week. This is about our opponent, Andy Reid and the Chiefs. Andy Reid. Look, our offense is the reason why we lost the game. So we straight up need to figure out and we got to figure out something on that side of the ball. Desean Jackson, he's got to get some targets and got to get some snaps, and he's got to play. I mean, we need something out of this guy. So I say, hey, okay, step up. Let's try to get something. Let's try to get something going this week. If it doesn't happen this week, the morale will take a huge turn in this team. I think we're going to go to a dark place if things don't work out this week, and I don't want to see that happen. We're at home. We have home field advantage. We have real home field advantage too. It's not like in the past when we didn't have home field advantage. You know, there's no fans there. You're basically playing in practice. It's basically a training camp practice. It's freaking weird, you know. But hopefully Desean Jackson. Here's the thing. What I was worried about the most about Desean Jackson is the fact that we're going to end up in a situation where, how is he going to know all these plays? How is he going to know all these plays? Now we know he's just going to run these streaks, deep posts. He's going to stick to that. Derek can probably tell him just to play right before, but we got to watch out with these audibles because Derek Carr likes to audible like crazy. Don't want to flip out Desean Jackson like that, get him super confused. But Andy Reid is showing some confidence. I think the guys have played better on defense the last 2 weeks. Remember, they claim they have a better D-line. Because who did they add? AFC division rival, veteran player, somebody who we tried to get, Melvin Ingram. Melvin Ingram came on. He's part of the team now, looking to do some damage, and that's who the Chiefs have. And they really liked what he did this past week against the Packers. So we have to watch out. Now, thankfully, pass rush wasn't necessarily a problem. We ran the ball really well. The reason why we lost is because of miscues, just purely miscues. And that's something I think is easier to fix. It's with Derek Carr. He's the guy in charge of fixing it. He's the guy who has, if there's anybody who's going to fix these miscues and their mistakes in one game on this team, it's that guy right there, Derek Carr, who just popped up when MW Sitman subscribed. Thank you for subscribing, Sitman. Anyways, so I'm confident we'll fix the mistakes because there's mainly receivers want to open, miscommunication. It seemed like Carr had some errant throws, whatever. So I'm still confident in that respect. Let's just hope something changes with our offense with the addition of Desean Jackson, and I do think it can happen. I look forward to it. But hopefully these games start getting officiated a little better. That's what I want. This is what I want to talk about as well. Sorry about that audio. I didn't realize we had those problems going on right there. But we are desperate for some water. Just subbed. Hell yeah, dude. Appreciate you subbing, my guy. But this game got me heated. This is I usually don't get heated watching other people's games, but this is one of the few times where I was like, wow, we're really just going to get screwed over this whole entire game, Or not we, but this team. I'm not a Bears fan. But freaking I was trying to put myself in their shoes. Like, how would I feel if this was happening to the Raiders, right? And then it makes me wonder, like, all those times that I thought something sketchy happened, during our games, was I right? Because I'm seeing this with this other team going on, and it's messed up, bro. It's super messed up. It's not okay. Think about these players too. That they risk so much to try to put together a good season, and we will be talking about the Dalvin Cook lawsuit soon. Not many details, though, to be honest. At this moment, the lawyer has just responded. So here we go. The NFL announced 5 new gambling partners prior to this year and then empowered referees to completely flip games based on nothing more than an arbitrary rule that essentially lets them judge intent without knowing. So even Florio has been talking about this, that he even mentioned, he said the fix is in. He says if that's the case, since gambling companies are sponsoring the NFL at a larger rate, some of the largest companies are, obviously, because NFL is the largest sports entity. And yeah, he said the fix is in, and things like this. He doesn't believe things are fixed, but he was referencing some things. You know, he's referenced hit job, fixes in. I really do think Pro Football Talk watches the show. I mean, call me crazy, but I have a feeling they watch this show because they make a lot of references to our videos. We interviewed Brian Toohey, who wrote the fixes in the book, on this channel. Check that out. And we went through all the comment. It's honestly the best introduction video to ideas around fixing in the NFL because we asked some of the most basic questions. I challenge him. I play devil's advocate in some situations, and it's very clarifying for anybody who's curious about that. So check that out on my channel. The fix is in. Brian Toohey. And EC Everett is referencing when Waller was called for unsportsmanlike conduct. Exactly. It was totally outrageous. So things like this, like Nick Wright mentioned prior to this, the no calls. To me, and that's what I was saying the most, what bugs me the most is the no calls, because those are things that people aren't even allowed to reflect on. It's hard to find the film. Calls, we all got the film, you know? And to me, that's just like Justin Fields, you're allowing people to hit him in the head. That's just messed up. Twice a row. And it's not even like it was the same drive. It was back-to-back plays. Like that to me is where it just goes too far. If I'm Justin Fields, do I trust officials to protect me during the game after that game against the Steelers? Hell no, I don't. Of course I don't. You would have to be naive too, right? So I'm just saying something has to change. Something has to change. People are asking about OBJ. People are, like I said earlier, there have been projections surrounding OBJ, and some people are joining us a little later. So I will briefly just say what I talked about, which is that Ruggs has court at 9 a.m. tomorrow. We know that. We know that he has 4 felony charges and a misdemeanor. He faces up to 40 years behind bars if convicted of all accounts. He's under house arrest for in his $1.1 million home. And he has to take an alcohol test 4 times a day and cannot drive or drink at all while he's on bail. Tested 4 times a day for alcohol. You thought COVID testing was crazy. Check that shit out. Here's the thing. I got some people predicting OBJ to Seattle. I'm not sure about that, man. I'm not sure about that. Did the NFL fine the Packers and Rodgers? Yes, in fact, the NFL has fined the Packers and Aaron Rodgers for what occurred as far as him not being vaccinated and violating protocol, the protocol that he was supposed to abide by. And I believe he was fined $14,000 while the Packers organization themselves were fined $300,000. Oh, shout out to Jesse Rodas becoming a producer. Really appreciate you, man. Becoming a sponsor of this show. Unique Ngakwe. Got the applause going. Unique Ngakwe is saying, bless you. That really is the best way to support this channel, man. Become a producer. Get access to every single live stream. Certain live streams like this will be available public, but I do 420 Football Talk on Thursdays. I do random live streams when breaking news happens. And I do live streams on Mondays reacting to everything in the NFL. And all that stuff is not available for the public because, you know, I'm a kind of guy where I will say stuff that maybe you probably shouldn't say, you know. I'll make comments that you probably shouldn't say. I'll be in a condition that I probably shouldn't be in when I'm in these videos. And, you know, I don't trust the general public with access to me just going off on these live. But I do trust the members. I do trust producers. And one special thing about being a producer in this show is that you control this show. You control this channel. When you're a producer of this channel, not only do you get access to everything, priorities, emojis and everything, but you can tell me what to make videos on. If you're just saying, I really wish somebody would make a video about this. There needs to be a video about this. I want you to do this topic, dude. I'll listen to you because you're my producer. You're my producer. I'll listen to what you want me to do, and you'll help control this show. So I appreciate you, Jesse. Excited to see what you have in store. Feel free to leave me comments, leave me messages. Let me know what you want to see happen in this Raiders YouTube world. Now, on to news about Jimmy Diesel. I think he's giving me fake news. If you do submit fake updates to this show, which for some reason I always get a shitload of people. I got more people sending me fake updates during this show than real updates in the chat. And here's the thing. I am a good YouTuber. I pay attention to the chat. You know what I mean? So if you're going to tell me some stuff about OBJ going to the Chiefs that just broke and it's not true, you just lost your trust. I'm not paying attention to anything. I'm not paying attention to anything, man. Yeah, free Wi-Fi. Yeah, exactly. I give you control and power when you become a member of this channel. You get control and power and free Wi-Fi for life. You'll never have a bad connection. So I want to talk about this Dalvin Cook situation. Doesn't affect us this much. If anything, it just makes the Vikings an easier opponent when they play AFC teams. So Dalvin Cook, an ex-girlfriend who she filed a complaint against him from alleged November 22 incident. She's alleging assault. And now at the same time, you actually have Dalvin Cook's team alleging assault against him. So there's just assault being alleged everywhere at this point. Hopefully somebody could figure out what the hell is going on. But we're going to read this text message because seems like it could be some juicy stuff. Unfortunately, my emotes didn't work. That might be a Twitter thing. I got people saying things about Kanye West spiritual leader. What the hell is going on here? Shout out to you, Brian, subscribing, man. But let's see what's going on. Dalvin, the chef cook, which, I mean, super chef. I mean, I've heard I Love McConan. He has a song where he says like super chef. What does the chef thing mean? And I'm not even that old. Am I that old now where I just don't know what these kids are talking about? Hey, some of the people who chimed in earlier, Luis, hey, hit your kid up. Ask him, what does chef mean? Why is everybody calling themselves a chef? Jesse, if you could ask one of your kids, somebody, I want to know what this chef thing's about. So Dalvin Chef, the chef cook. He's cooking, but it's like people aren't actually cooking crack. I mean, when you're cooking crack, you're not at a high point. You know what I mean? Maybe am I not hip anymore? What's going on? Okay. I know what I did. Can't be rewind, but I just want you to know I'm sorry. I love you so much, despite you thinking I don't or never did, but I do. Whatever you want, I'm here for you. And if you want to go to the police, I'll respect that. I'll take my punishment for what I did. Wow. Sorry if that was a little too loud, but that surprised me. Okay, his last name is Cook. I get it. So I'm just so locked. I'm so locked into this live stream, I couldn't even put it together that it was the chef and cook. I couldn't even put it together right now. That's how locked in I am. All right, I know what I did. Can't rewind. So, hey, look, if this is a real text, and this looks pretty real to me, he's done. He is absolutely done. Dalvin, my face is so messed up, I probably won't get to go see my family for Thanksgiving. All right, here's one thing from me. Who puts an emoji with like the wet thing when you're talking about getting knocked out? Like if someone assaulted me, it's like, okay, like why would you be sending emojis and be like, I won't be able to even, get to see my face for Thanksgiving over there, man. Like you really, it sounds like she's making a joke. I don't know. So here's what he replies. And I'm sorry for that, but The situation just got out of hand from the jump. Whoa, can you come back to me? And wow, so there's some marks there. Wow. Know your information before believing what you read. So here's the thing. All right, we're all like worried now, but what the hell is really going on, right? So don't worry, we'll figure this shit out right now. Because now I'm freaking stoked. Now I want to know what's going on. Copy image address. It seems like an insane story. My girlfriend's telling me this is a crazy story. She's just read about it. All right, I'll be linking it too in the chat. Bada Bay Area will be sending that there. Okay. The evening of November 19th, 2020, U.S. Military Sergeant First Class Gracelyn Trimble broke into the home of Dalvin Cook and assaulted him and his 2 house guests. Sergeant Trimble and her attorneys are now attempting to extort him for millions of dollars. Now, this is coming from the attorney of Dalvin Cook. Whoa, this is insane. We'll check out that friggin' ESPN article soon. While Mr. Cook and Sergeant Trimble had a short-term relationship over several months, she became emotionally abusive, physically aggressive, and confrontational, and repeatedly attempted to provoke Mr. Cook. Sergeant Trimble damaged his vehicle on at least 2 occasions, assaulted him, and attempted to stop him from seeing other women. So, whoa, bro. That's why, you got to watch out when you're dating a sergeant. Drill sergeant, she'll go major pain on your ass. Shit, bro. That's scary. All right. So the state of Minnesota applies the Castle Doctrine as it pertains to self-defense, which means when an intruder enters your home, you have the right to defend yourself and your family or guests. The right to self-defense includes the use of deadly force based on the nature of the perceived threat. Almost a year ago, on the evening of November 19, 2020, Sergeant Trimble, unlawfully without consent or knowledge of Mr. Cook entered his residence in Inver Grove Heights. Sergeant Trimble gained entry into Mr. Cook's residence with a stolen garage door opener. Whoa. She went Metal Gear Solid covert operation. Wow. That's insane. Okay. Upon entry into the residence, Sergeant Trimble immediately and without provocation physically assaulted Mr. Cook, punched him repeatedly, and maced Mr. Cook directly in the eyes, and then maced his 2 house guests. So shout out to Dalvin Cook going through all this stuff in 2020 and still balling out last year. I mean, he's got all this going on, and homeboy is still breaking tackles, getting touchdowns, going insane. So, woo! Okay. Oh, sorry for that noise. I went too loud. While Mr. Cook was trying to alleviate the burning of his eyes from the mace, Sergeant Trimble sprayed a second round of mace in his face and then proceeded to arm herself with a firearm. Sergeant Trimble forced Mr. Cook and his guests at gunpoint to remain in his residence for several hours. Oh my God. This bitch is crazy. The bitch is insane, officially. If anybody I've ever slept with is holding a gun to me and telling me and my friends to chill there for several hours, done. That person is completely insane. And here's what's the crazier shit for me. Is how his text messages responding to this. Now that I look at it, now his text messages is just saying, oh, well, things got kind of out of hand. I know what you did, but blah, blah, blah. Things just got out of hand from the jump. No, bro, things didn't go out of hand from the jump. This motherfucker, or this person is crazy. This person is psycho. You should be scared of them. They're a sergeant too, so they know how to aim. If you're dealing with a sergeant having you at gunpoint, there's not going to be any slippery, oh, I made a mistake, robbery stuff. This Sergeant Trimble is making me tremble, bro. I am not dumb. Shit. Oh my God. You know what? Shout out to him though. Exactly. He remained cool. Didn't do no, big assault. Well, I mean, apparently she claims there was assault. So let's see what happens. Man. Whoa. During this hostage situation, Sergeant Trimble tried to again assault a female guest of Mr. Cook when Mr. Cook tried to stop the attack. And when Mr. Cook tried to stop the attack, Sergeant Trimble was knocked to the ground and suffered a small cut above her nose. These facts are confirmed by at least 2 independent witnesses. Based on information, Sergeant Trimble has a prior history of violence, including repeated instances of criminal damage to Mr. Cook's property. So she kept on trying to sneak into his place several times. And his guests that he has that she's assaulting, they're all female. So basically, he's, having some fun with some other female guests. She comes in and breaks in. She steals his garage door opener, sneaks into his place without him knowing, and freaking maces him, and then pulls a gun out and keeps Dalvin Cook and the chick and his other friends there for several hours at gunpoint while Dalvin Cook's in a situation where he has to talk her down. Then she goes and tries to attack some chick that he's hanging out with, and then he goes in and tries to stop her. Of course, when he's trying to stop her, who she's clearly violent as hell, she's got guns and doing all this crazy shit, then he accidentally scratches her up while he's trying to stop her attacking somebody else. So Dalvin Cook, he's in the good, in my opinion, right now. I think he's going to be safe. I think he's going to be able to play this Sunday against the Chargers. So, wow, insane story. Women's filing the lawsuit, but it turns out he was assaulted. And don't let this headline fool you. This shit is crazy. Go ahead and read this story. You can check out this image I just posted in the chat that I just read out. If you want to share it with other people about the Dalvin Cook situation, it's a statement from his lawyer. Whoa, bro. I didn't think that was going to get that crazy. Not going to lie. I had not read about that prior to talking and hanging out with you guys right now. That shit is crazy. That shit's insane. That's just the thing, though, fellas. I mean, once you get strike one and someone's doing something that nuts, you got to start recognizing there's going to be a pattern there. Let's just separate. Maybe get a restraining order. I think he should have done that. But here's the thing. If he let her break into her home multiple times and he knew about it, that means, and that she was super attracted to him still and this possessive, that means that she broke in and he said it was cool and then maybe probably chilled with her again after she broke in. So, oh my God, bad look for Dalvin Cook for sure. But hey, shit happens. Fortunately, I guess for us Raiders fans, I think we have Chargers versus the Vikings this weekend. 1:00 before our Chiefs game. And the Vikings are a good team, and they're an even better team with Dalvin Cook. So we got to hope that Dalvin Cook's able to play, able to make some plays against freaking the Chargers, against Derwin James. So at first they tried to make him look bad with this text, but after you read the attorney's statement, it makes a lot of sense. We'll see what's in store. Obviously, Nick Chubb has COVID. He might not play against the Patriots. And I thought my ex-baby mama was crazy. Yeah, and if stealing garage door openers, once you start stealing garage door openers and breaking into your place when you don't know, that's when you know it hit the next level. It's one thing to freaking be a little possessive and jealous and maybe even try to fight somebody who you're sleeping with. Okay, that's one thing. Okay, I get that. People get sexually possessive and jealous, especially if people claim to be exclusive and then they're not, all kinds of things, yada, yada. But when you're going in this situation where you're doing covert Metal Gear Solid style sneaking and whatnot, bro, that's going too far, way too far. So hopefully Dalvin Cook comes through. I'm trying to find the fine amounts for the Packers, but don't have that here right now. Got a bunch of people who joined us a little late. We're doing this at 7 o'clock all the time. Nightly news talking about everything happening, not only with the NFL, but more specifically with Raider Nation, because that's what we care about here. And so we're really talking about earlier the fact that the Raiders worked out Jalen Strong. former third-round pick by the Texans, and a couple other people. Marquise Lee is someone who could be really interesting. We'll see if we get a depth piece along with Desean Jackson. I don't think we're going after OBJ. I don't think the OBJ thing's going to happen. I think we're going to chill out, get some depth along with Desean Jackson. He fills the role. You know, he kind of fills what we need here. So I think they'll go ahead and take a look at that. So OBJ, I'm just hoping that he goes to the AFC. I mean NFC. Reynolds would be nice. Reynolds, if he clears waivers, he's a former Ram. He's a speedster too. He ran a 4.3 at one point. He could be a very interesting person for, you know, the Raiders to pick up. Could be somebody useful in case Desean is not 100%. I think Desean Jackson will be good. I think he'll be good for what we need. I actually did a video, a live, which you can only see if you're a member now, where I was reacting to PFF talking about Desean Jackson, and they were very high on him. Actually, I think I want to pull up, and I will talk about Chris Sims. We could check this out together. What he was saying about the Raiders and Desean Jackson, I think, okay. I mean, the fact that he was speaking pretty positively made me really optimistic, because usually he's just a straight up hater. So that means even he's able to be like, okay, you know, this is they're pretty legit with Desean Jackson. They'll be good.
A little bit yesterday.
So we'll take a look at what he said right here, because it's mainly just about us losing, and I was going to record a video and react to this anyways. But why not just react here together, you know, just right now? So we'll see what's up here. Let me just freaking get this thing a little big. I believe we are set with Desean Jackson. I believe he'll fit great with our offense. I think so too. I think if he's playing the Ruggs role, if Desean Jackson is half as good as Aguilar for us, I mean, to me, that's a victory. That's a victory right away. He's only got one little role he's got to do. It's nothing too big. Neek, what's good, my dude? Chilling doing this live. I'm not smoking right now. I'm staying cool. I'm saving that for Thursday. So, but definitely after this live, you know I'm lighting up, bro. So, what's up, bro? Good to see you here, man. So, hey, let's check out this video. Chris Sims, see what he has to say. I'm gonna make sure this audio sounds good. Let me know if there's any problem with the Chris Sims audio.
We'll see where they go from here.
Giants beat the Raiders 23-6.
All right, it's a little quiet. Let me freaking filter this out. And shout out to you guys, man, supporting this channel. We've had a long battle with this channel. We've been around since March. 3.6 subs. Fighting. You know, we're just out here fighting, trying to keep building, keep making better content. I think we've done a really good job over time, and it really comes from people helping me out and giving feedback. So always give me feedback, comment, let me know what you think. Let me know stuff you don't like to. I mean, I handle it well. I'm a big boy. I'm a man. I can handle it.
16, Xavier McKinney, 7 tackles, 2 picks. Also
still pretty
pick
quiet.
6.
Still pretty quiet. Let me know if you guys think it's loud enough. I think it's pretty quiet on my end.
Damn.
Yeah.
McKinney's a baller. I mean, he's got a unique skill set coming out of Alabama. And he was hurt a little last year as a rookie, but like safety, nickel, can kind of do both of those jobs. You know, thinks he's 240 pounds and will hit you like that.
Yeah.
Like, and you're like, no, dude, you're 190. Like, relax, 195. But, you know, he's got incredible speed. He's got instincts. He really knows how to play. He changes their team a little bit. He makes them a little more versatile, you know, on the back end. And this is the reason, like, games like yesterday are why I defend Joe Judge. It's why I defend him. You know, again, the Giants aren't better than the Raiders, but they manage and play the game exactly the right way, and they make you earn it, and that's what they did yesterday. Giants, it wasn't pretty. It wasn't. The offense just made a few plays when they had to. They got a little bit of a run game going, which, again, does scare me about the Raiders because they're another one of those teams where I go, not enough big people in the middle of their defense. I worry if they're going to be able to stop overpowering running teams as we.
It's crazy that we forget that we just randomly had our starting middle linebackers show up like a week before the first game. Denzel Perryman has come in out of nowhere and just become our starter. We lost Morrow. Nick Kwiatkowski, what happened to that guy? Remember when we were hyped as hell on that guy last year? He had the one-arm pick off of Drew Lock in the Broncos game. We were all stoked, one-handed OBJ style pick. What happened to that guy? So Nick Kwiatkowski's on the out, man. This guy, I barely see him even play special teams sometimes. I think I see him like 10 snaps a game. But hey, it happens. We invested in him and we changed schemes. But we do really need better run defense. I really wish Morrow was around. Remember freaking Gruden said Nicholas Morrow is in his prime. His time is now. He said that in the offseason. Bam, he was done. So it really does suck.
Go forward. But then, hey, the Giants defense making big plays was certainly, the biggest thing going in this football game, whether it was his 2 interceptions or the strip sack fumble at the end. It led to a lot of empty yards from the Raiders. They moved the ball great, between the 20 to the other 40, but they couldn't quite capitalize throughout the day.
One of the best stats coming out of yesterday, they were 1 for 6 in the red zone scoring touchdown.
There you go.
6 times they got there.
That's unbelievable.
Isn't it?
It is.
That's hard to do.
It's hard to do, right. But the Giants made it a field goal game.
Yep.
Typical New England, Tennessee Titans type of thing.
So one thing that we also have to, because you look at Xavier McKinney, who got the 2 picks on Carr, he's a good player, and he's getting super hyped up. It is true that Kwiatkowski, he was injured at his ankle, along with Darius Philon. They're both injured. We haven't received an injury report yet. We'll get that for you guys tomorrow. It'll be released. So, anyways, though, hopefully the Giants' defense is just really good, and that's another reason why we had a setback. I'm hoping for that because Xavier McKinney is a really good player, and Leonard Williams is no one to mess with, and they have some pretty decent edge rushing rookies. So hopefully that was part of the reason, but maybe not.
We'll bend. You'll kick a field goal. We hope we'll go score a touchdown.
Yep.
We'll bend. We hope you kick a field goal, and we might score another touchdown. And all of a sudden you go, it's been an even game, but we're scoring touchdowns, and you're kicking field goals, and look who's winning. And that's kind of the way the game felt yesterday. I mean, it wasn't pretty by any stretch of the imagination, but they played the game the right way and, of course, made a few plays on the defensive side of the ball that were crucial. The Giants aren't going to win pretty. They're not good enough up front. Jason Garrett has to manage the game every week. They have to run the ball probably a little more than they want to because they're trying to protect the O-line and Daniel Jones. They have to be careful about what kind of pass plays they picked because they got to protect the offensive line a little bit. But overall, I just thought, it was kind of just an old school Big Blue type of win. Big Blue.
You said that a bunch yesterday as well.
I love it. I'm a Giants fan, hands down, no doubt about it. And I root for Joe Judge, because I know him.
Yeah.
But I do believe in him. Mm-hmm. And I've gotten sick of the haters on Daniel Jones to where it's made me be like one of his biggest fans.
He's going to start talking about the Raiders in just
because if they lose, everybody wants to get rid of him.
Of course.
And then when they win, hey, he's not that bad. And I want to go, what? He's the best player in their offense, period. Like, get over it. So good win for them.
And one thought here on the Raiders, they have a big hole to fill. No Henry Ruggs, legal and tragic reasons that he's not there.
Yeah.
Tripod 2X asks, can Desean Jackson, going from the Rams to the Raiders, help fill the void that Ruggs leaves?
Great question, and 100%. 100%. First off, he can still go.
Yeah.
I don't think he's quite as fast as Henry Ruggs, but still can, have that same element to the offense, and where it'll even be more seamless than anything. McVay, he runs John Gruden's offense. Now, he's expanded it and had his own way of how he does it, but I would think the language is going to be very similar.
Yeah.
He's going to go in there and go, oh, I know this play. Oh, we called it the same thing. I just called this play the same thing with the Rams and McVay.
Yeah.
So I think it'll be
Oh my God. My bad, dude. Okay. Appreciate you guys for freaking having my back there. Appreciate you, Chef B, for all the love. And it looks like you're spitting. Yeah, like I was rapping or something, huh? You guys know the perks of being a member. Chef B, freaking coming out here, showing some love like always, man. Appreciate you, bro. You get archives of live streams, tons of perks and everything. And by the way, though, I wanted to pause by just freaking talking about briefly what he just said.
Very similar.
Yeah.
He's going to and had his own way of how he does it, but I would think the language is going to be very anything. McVay, he runs John Gruden's offense. Now,
so that was something that gave me a lot of hope and made me pretty stoked, actually, is freaking the fact that I forgot McVay he's highly influenced by John Gruden, and even freaking Chris Sims, somebody who's played in John Gruden's offense, is saying, hey, he runs John Gruden's offense. So yeah, maybe Desean Jackson will be delayed on the playbook a little bit, but we're running a similar offense, so I think he's going to be fine. And according to Chris Sims, he thinks he can freaking, form into our system, jump right in, especially if the plays are very similar. And I think they are, especially for the type of routes he's asked to run. So Chef B, need to hit you up on Instagram. I have a favor to ask. Yeah, bro, hit me up on Instagram. Send me some messages. I'll hit you back up for sure. I'm on Instagram at WiFiWillie. My phone is broken. I'm getting a new phone, but hey, still hit me up. I can log on, respond to some stuff.
now he's expanded it and had his own way of how he does it, but I would think the language is going to be very similar.
Yeah.
He's going to go in there and go, oh, I know this play. Oh, we called it the same thing. I just called this play the same thing with the Rams and McVay.
Yeah.
So
Well, hell yeah. We got some buffering issues, but it's all good. 55-23.
I think it'll be very easy for him to jump in that way.
Maybe we are losing internet. No, we're not losing internet.
And the Raiders, again, not giving up on them either. I think the one thing with the Raiders is, they need a Desean Jackson. I know they can be surgical and boom, 8 yards, 7 yards, 8 yards, 12 yards, 8 yards. I know that. They need the big play element of their offense. That's where they're going to miss Henry Ruggs. That's why they need a guy like Desean Jackson. And this is, let's be honest, one of the first games all year where we can go away and go, man, Derek Carr, he was careless with the football twice, and it hurt their football team.
Right.
It was one of the first time all year we can kind of pin a loss maybe on him a little bit.
Yeah, 2 interceptions, first time this season with 2 or more interceptions.
Yeah,
so he's been doing a terrific job taking care of the ball, but not yesterday.
No, not yesterday. And, again, they're up, 13-10, right? It was 13-10, start the second half. He throws that out route, pick 6. Then later on, I want to say it was 20-16, right? And he's got a little cover 2 hole shot down the right sideline, and he tries to rip it in there. And Xavier McKinney got over there, intercepted it.
Yeah.
That led to the field goal. So that really was big. And also another last thing, Paul. I know I'm talking a lot about this game, but I'm excited because it's the Giants. But it was 20-16 too. Raiders drove down the field. And a chip shot, 25-yard field goal, they missed to the left.
That's right.
Got to hate on Carlson.
Giants, some good breaks, definitely, but I think they made a lot of their own luck yesterday, and it was a big win for Big Blue.
And, hey, I don't want to let the damn okays get away from us here before we talk about the Falcons a little bit. Going to New Orleans and winning, and Matt Ryan. 23 out.
All right, so they're starting to talk about Matt Ryan, but essentially it did seem like it was just a freak game from Derek Carr. I think even if people are saying, oh, if Desean Jackson gets hurt, we're going to be screwed and right where we were originally. I think Derek Carr plays better than this game. I think this past game that we saw is going to be Derek Carr's worst game of the year, and like every game from now on is going to be better than that game. I think every QB has a tough game. You saw Rodgers have a rough game week 1. Mahomes has had a rough season. I mean, and obviously people aren't going to give up on Mahomes. So, the positive outweighs the negative with Derek Carr at the end of the day. I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do on Sunday night. I actually got booked for a stand-up comedy show Sunday night, and I'm considering canceling. I mean, I'm performing at 6 p.m., but I think I'm gonna have to turn off my phone. Right when I perform, I'm gonna get out of there and get back to the game at 7 p.m. I have it on DVR, and I'll try to catch up with you guys. So I might have to do that, or I might just cancel the show because I am freaking pumped up for this game Sunday. What about you guys? I know I'm stoked as hell. I think the Raiders are gonna still surprise some people. The spread has gone in the Chiefs' favor since the Ruggs situation, since the Giants loss. And here's the thing. For those of you who watch this channel, you do know that I predicted all of this. I predicted all of this shit. I mean, I could pull up the footage right now, but it'd take me a while to find the exact timestamp. In my live streams, my Monday reaction show, my 420 show, the thing that the members have access to, both of those shows, I predicted that the Chiefs would beat the Giants would beat the Raiders to drum up hype for the Sunday night game. And here's the thing. The Raiders played so poorly that the refs didn't really have to help the Giants. But if the Raiders did play well, I was anticipating some sketchy calls. I was anticipating a bunch of them. So, fortunately, we got a fair game called as far as refereeing. From my perspective, we did. But I did call this out. Not many people predicted, and I also thought the spread would have to go in Kansas City's favor. And if Kansas City would have beat the Giants and then we beat the Giants, then the spread would have been going towards our favor, I think. So now it's changed. Let's take a look at this, and we'll check this out, and then we'll get back to more. By the way, man, if you guys have not subscribed to this channel and get updates, man. We're going live all the time. We're always having uploads of short vids. We've been doing really well trying to put quality content. We also listen to our subscribers, want to hear what you guys have to say. So let me know. Hit us up. And yeah, definitely subscribe. Let's go ahead and talk about more of this stuff right now. The spread, 2.5 favorite, Kansas City. They are now the favorite. And money line, yes. Chiefs, third overall rank in the power rankings, unfortunately, for us. 13th, we're 13th. We've gone down. We were a little higher, but still 7-7. Their defense is getting a little bit better. They used to be worse. Offense, they're a little bit higher ranked than us, 4th, while we're 7th. They are running the ball 29% of the time. We're running at 35%. We're a little bit more balanced, but it should be an interesting game. Chiefs are the favorite, so if they are predicting that the Chiefs win by a field goal, so they're still predicting a close game. This is a rough game to bet. I don't bet on Raider games because I feel like I have a more sober analysis when I bet on other teams that I don't have any relationship with. So I can't bet on this game, but I'm just letting you guys know we're the underdog going in this game in Vegas. Let's do it. PFF, they're putting the spread even wider. PFF is anticipating that there'll be a 3.2 spread. Question for the chat. I like this question. Usually I just prioritize members and super chats, but I do like this question. Who do you think is our offseason pickup of the year so far? Question for the chat. This is a question for the chat. This is a question for you guys too. This is a cool vote. You guys should vote now. Let us know in the chat. Who is your offseason pickup of the year so far? Plenty of people. You could name the list. I mean, Unique Ngakoue is obviously on there. Casey Hayward would be on there. As far as free agents, you would say that. Draft, you could say Merring. You could say Hobbs. Perryman. We're getting a lot of Perryman. Wow. Despite Hayward showing up and despite Morrow going down, we got people who like Perryman, Yannick Ngakoue. It's all defense so far. Nobody's saying Drake. Nobody's talking about Drake. A lot of Perryman love. Wow. So Perryman is really popular among Raider Nation than a lot of people think. I mean, because he's joined the team. He's the most recent offseason addition out of all of our offseason additions. Besides Desean Jackson, that's not on the offseason. Hayward, Solomon, he's got his sacks. Gus Bradley, you would have to, I mean, he totally changed everything. So Gus Bradley would be a high level. I could see that. Definitely would have to give him some credit. Drake wasn't utilized enough with Gruden. Hit or miss there. I mean, he did get his targets, but he shined a little more recently. That's true. Drake does still have another year. We'll see. I mean, Drake wasn't really lined up at wide receiver much this game. I think they need to start doing that. They got to figure something out to get him more involved. Especially since we're lacking weapons. Shout out to Joseph, man, subscribing. Appreciate the love, bro. Little John, is that a combination of Corey Littleton and Jonathan Abram? Is that what it is? Gus, on it, Casey Solomon. Perryman is pretty dope, though. Not gonna lie, I was surprised. I thought he was gonna be like, kind of somebody who we just plug in. It's it's who we got. It's who we got to roll with. But homie was balling harder than I've predicted so far. So shout out to him, proving a lot of people wrong. And shout out to PFF. Derek Carr with the 82.5 PFF grade, 10 points higher than Patrick Mahomes' 72.4 PFF grade. But for some reason, Patrick Mahomes is third on the power ranking while Carr's 11th. And let me know how that makes any sense. To me, that doesn't make any sense at all. But you know how these rankings are. It's all bullshit, right? It's all complete bullshit. So shout out to you guys joining me for this show, though, man. We had a lot of fun. NFL Nightly News. Let me know what you guys think. I'm thinking about doing this pretty often. I like 7 p.m. I think it's a good time for people. I have been doing my Monday reaction show. I think I might move that to 7 p.m. 4:20 Thursdays got to stay at 4:20 Pacific time. That's just how it has to be. That's just culture, bro. That's just how it has to be, right? So we'll see what happens. That'll be the schedule for now. I'll update my schedule on my page. Remember to subscribe, ring the bell, get notifications. We got tons of details, tons of uploads going on. I got one upload that went viral. Got 80,000 views, my Damon Arnett video. I just showed the Instagram video, so I guess I got kind of lucky. And I tried to give a sober analysis. I wasn't just talking crap. I wasn't just going to crap on Damon Arnett because that's a situation where, he was just acting immature. But we'll get into that later on in the channel. We got so much to talk about. I've been going live since 7 o'clock. This video will be available to the public for 24 hours, but eventually it will be sent to the archives for members only. I think this will be 48 hours. But 420 and Monday, those are only for members only at this point in the archives. So be on the lookout for that. Appreciate you already, Raider Nation. Y'all have a good one and good night.